Hello, my name is Simon Hanson. I'm going to be doing a short video linking a lot of things that I've learned from my iPad 3 training and getting some information that I can do for my level 3. I'm going to be shooting this video. The first thing I've got to be ensuring that I'm doing is making sure that the lighting is correct on for the iPad, so you can see what's going on. I'm just going to pick you up and show you around that if you were to start filming in an area where you can't, if you don't have the light in the correct location with your iPad, it's going to affect the quality of the video. So it's important that you choose and select the right area so you can get a quality video. I'm going to be using my iPad 2, which is a self-contained unit, so it's got no external wires or anything like that can get in the way, so it's quite easy and simple to move around the room. I'll be asking a colleague of mine and then videoing a little bit of his Keep Warm Day taster demonstration that I can potentially use in a class, for some theory class, to recap on some skills that they'll be using next year. My colleague's Graham Headley, and I'm going to have to ask his permission to ensure that we can video him and explain where all of this is going to be, because there's obviously the consent to be given for Graham to allow me to use the video content. I'm going to ask a colleague to be able to video that for me after I've asked him the permission, to show that you can put together little parts of clips to come together to make one final product, which you'll be seeing the final product. And the next part is that we are going to be using products called iMovie Maker, which is a clip just now, which is a screenshot that's going to come on now to show you what it looks like, where I can add in movies, pictures, different audio sounds. So now here we have a short video of the demonstration that Graham actually took part on after I'd got his permission to do so. Once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it to my own private YouTube and Tumblr account, so it's accessible, which has only got permission for the people that I want to be able to see it, can see that. Got to be careful when you're uploading anything to these particular sites, especially if you're adding in music or anything like that you've got permission to do so for other people to be able to see them, with the consent restraints and copyright restraints that you have. Good morning, Graham. You're just about to do a demonstration for our new students. You're going to be doing some flambe work. I just want to ask for permission, if it's possible for us to use this video for training purposes for the students when they come in, possibly put it onto YouTube or something that can be shared through the social media for them to be able to get some learning experiences, and if you're okay for that to be accessed from anybody.
Morning, Simon. Yeah, I have no problem with that at all. Thank you for letting me know, and enjoy filming.
Thank you. Hi again. As you can see, if you change your lighting and the visual can be quite poor, it can affect your actual video. What I've also done as well, I've been able to video small clips at different times and bring them back together. So now that I've just asked Graham if I can have his permission, I'm going to show you a little demonstration that he's done in front of some of our students. So back to you, Graham.
Dark room, that's what I'm going to flame with. You don't have dark room, you use any room. The dark room for this purpose will be good. Now what I want each of you to do in a second, you're going to take a plate that's there with a fork, okay? Once I've flamed it, I want you to come, and I'll give you a little bit of banana, but I want you to stand and wait, because I'm going to add the cream to the sauce, okay? Now what I do, I heat the front of the pan up here, which is going to heat it, and that's going to be the strike point when I pour the rum onto it, and hopefully we'll get a flame. You keep doing that, good man. Now, is that smoking in a bad way or smoking in a good way? I would say you should smoke, put a bit more smoke, put a bit more sugar in there, don't need any more butter, and keep going with that, okay?
Now let's put this on the white thingy, or?
Yeah, just put it on the whiteboard, it's fine.
Right,
just put it on there, nothing happen, no problem. Now once it starts smoking, you can tell me, is it starting to smoke? I think we're going to be there in a second, aren't we? Don't scare, it's all fine, Rachel. Don't worry, okay? Now, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is what you call a flambe. Doesn't need to be big, doesn't need to be impressive, okay? It's all about that strike point, all about getting it in, okay?
When producing films that are put together like this, it's very important that when using the iPad 3, we're using something called the H.264 codec, which is quite small size for filming products. So you've got to ensure that you don't use up all of the memory that you've got within your iPad, depending on the size that you've got. This is a 16 gigabyte, which does have quite a lot of storage, but you just got to be careful that you don't use that. So what I do to combat that is I use accounts like iTunes, Tumblr, YouTube, which are private accounts, to make sure that I can have some storage saving actually on my device, but I can upload them to an area similar to the iCloud that you use within iTunes. You get 5 gigabytes free with this. These apps that you can upload them to onto the internet. Just make sure that you've got your settings though at private, so that it's not open to everybody else unless you've got permission from the person that you're going to be putting your video on for. As you can see, there's also an opportunity to put some photos on and over right with some audio. I've got some screenshots from the iMovie Maker where I've pressed the help button and it shows me what each part of the screen will help me with. I've also shown Graham here where I can upload to YouTube by pressing the icon in the top right hand corner, and it brings down a drop box with YouTube or Mail. If I press on YouTube, this picture would come up here asking for my identification, and then I could upload it to YouTube or a social media site if I wish to. The only thing to be careful of at this point though is to make sure that you've got your settings on private so that it's not accessible by everyone and to the public. So be careful to untick this box. This shot here also shows that I'm on the music settings. Just be careful not to upload or use any music that you don't have permission to share with anybody. This is to make sure through copyright, etc. The next shot also shows you can use some photos that you've got on your camera roll, anything that you've saved in your library. Again, just be careful you've got permission from the people that you're going to be showing on anything that you'd be recording. And finally, just make sure that you have everything in place and you check through everything before you upload it to anything, just for any errors or anything. You don't want to have something out of sync or something that isn't working. So I'm going to play out with one of my favourite songs from the 80s and 90s.